Assalamu alaikum. This is Shongit Ahmed welcoming you all to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Centre. You've just heard the headlines and now on to the rest of the news. The export earning of Bangladesh is still on a positive trend despite global economy being shattered by the coronavirus pandemic. The Export Promotion Bureau in a report says the country has exported a volume of 2,893 crore and 83 lakh US dollars in the last 9 months till March. Bangladesh has exported garment products worth 2,348 crore US dollars in 9 months of the current fiscal year. The export income from the garments has fallen a bit, but earnings from other items including textile, agri-products, ceramic, jute and jute products have increased. EPB says the country exported jute and jute products worth 95 crore US dollars in the 9 months, which was 22% higher than the same period of the previous year. Home textiles marked an export of 84 crore US dollars in the last 9 months, while the volume was 59 crore US dollars in the same period of the previous year. The government has set a target of exporting a volume of 4,100 crore US dollars for the current fiscal year. When many countries of the world could not collect corona vaccine, the picture in Bangladesh was different. Bangladesh government under far-sighted leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has taken initiatives to increase supplies in the country to check the corona vaccines. The government has taken decision to produce Russia and China-made vaccines in Bangladesh. The authority concerned foresees that after producing these 2 vaccines in Bangladesh, it will be possible to bring all the citizens of the country under the vaccination program. However, the specialist physicians have suggested all to maintain health guidelines and to check coronavirus. 57 COVID-19 patients died in the country in a day, taking the death toll to 11,450. The tally of the infections rose to 7,59,132 with 2,177 new cases. The press release of the Directorate General of Health Services confirmed this today. The recovery count rose to 6,81,426 after another 4,325 recovered during the period. Corona infection rate is decreasing day by day in the country. As a result, the number of corona patients are also decreasing at hospitals. Corona-19 dedicated hospital authority said general beds at the hospital remain vacant because low pressure of corona patients. Bangladesh has faced acute crisis of general and ICU beds at hospitals across the country as corona infection rate was high from March this year. The government has declared lockdown to control the situation. As a result, corona infection is decreasing after 1.5 months, and the number of corona patients are decreasing at hospitals across the country. Many beds remain vacant due to less corona patients. Corona patients are also decreasing at hospitals in the capital. Hospital authority says this is the result of the strict lockdown. They hope that if people continue to maintain health and safety guidelines, corona infection will decrease gradually. The infection rate of the coronavirus came down to below 10% on Thursday after 1.5 months. Experts say the intensity of the virus has decreased due to the measures taken by the government during the ongoing lockdown. They also say that stringent measures have to be taken so that no variants can enter the country from outside. Physicians say there is no alternative to ensuring health safety guidelines, including wearing masks. Bangladesh recorded first case of the coronavirus on March 8 last year. Under the ongoing lockdown situation, relief materials are being distributed during the month of the Holy Ramadan among the suppressed and distressed people across the country. District administration and people's representatives continue to distribute food relief from Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's humanitarian assistance. Meanwhile, Whip of the Jatiyo সংসদ Iqbalur Rahim distributed food material among 500 jobless people in Dinajpur district today. Parliament member Ali Asgar Togor distributed food relief among the rootless people of Chuadanga district. Deputy Commissioner of Potuakhali district Mohammad Motiul Islam has distributed food relief to over 500 helpless people. At the initiative of Jamalpur district administration and local Awami League, food relief was distributed among 200 families of rickshaw and van drivers. Similar initiatives were taken by the Jhalokati Chhatro League. They have distributed relief packets to about 700 distressed people of Jhalokati door to door. Besides food, relief materials were also distributed among the poor people by the local district administrator of Pirojpur, Manikganj, Nator, Gazipur, Panchgor, Chatpur and Rangpur districts on behalf of Prime Minister's humanitarian assistance during the corona crisis. The relief materials included rice, pulse, potato, edible oil and cash money. Shops and shopping malls remain open on condition amid ongoing lockdown. A huge crowd was seen at Newmarket, Gausia, Chandni Chowk and adjacent footpath shops. On the other hand, a reverse situation was seen at shopping malls in the capital. Although hygiene rules is being maintained properly at big shopping malls, it is neglected at footpath shops. People at footpath shops are not maintaining social distancing, and shopping malls authorities are monitoring the hygiene rules issues besides the administration. Shoppers at big shopping malls said many people are doing shopping online. They are providing online products besides offline business. Meanwhile, huge amount of private cars were seen at the Dhaka roads. A lot of auto rickshaws, microbuses and motorcycles were plying besides emergency vehicles and ambulances. Leaders of all the unions of the Bangladesh Federal Union of Journalists, BFUJ, across the country have expressed their heartfelt gratitude to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina for giving 10 crore taka to the Bangladesh Journalist Welfare Trust during corona pandemic. The leaders of BFUJ and Dhaka Union of Journalists, DUJ, expressed their gratitude in a written notification yesterday. Earlier, the written notification also mentioned the assistance of 10,000 taka each as corona period support to 3,350 journalists across the country. At the same time, the journalist leaders also thanked the Information and Broadcasting Minister, Dr. Hassan Mahmood, as he cooperated sincerely to get this help. They said, as before, the journalist-friendly humanitarian Prime Minister, considering their appeal, set a unique precedent by providing 10 crore taka in this tragic pandemic situation. And now on to international news. India added a record about 3,87,000 new infections and over 3,500 COVID deaths on Thursday. This was the 9th consecutive day in India of 3 lakh plus cases and the 3rd day in a row when deaths crossed the 3,000 mark. Now the South Asian country's total tally of corona active cases reaches 1,87,63,000. Besides, the death toll from the deadly infection in India now stands at more than 2,08,000. Meanwhile, the number of deaths related to COVID-19 has passed 4,01,000 in Brazil, the second highest in the world, as the country continues to struggle with its vaccination program. COVID-19 global death toll surpasses 31,83,000 and over 15 crore 14,02,000 people have been infected globally. Dozens of people were crushed to death in a crowd at a religious bonfire festival in Israel on Friday, medics said in what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described as a heavy disaster. Newspaper Haaretz reports at least 44 people have been killed. Meanwhile, 103 people had been injured, including dozens fatally. Emergency services are evacuating the injured. The crush occurred as tens of thousands of ultra-Orthodox Jews thronged to the Galilee tomb of 2nd century sage Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai for annual Lag Bomer commemorations. Viewers, now Sehri and Iftar timings for the capital and adjoining areas. Tonight's Sehri ends at 3:59 early in the morning in Dhaka and adjoining areas, while tomorrow's Iftar will be 6:31 in the evening. And now news on sports. Sri Lanka scored 469 runs for 6 in their first innings against Bangladesh at stumps of day 2 in the second test of 2 matches series in Pallekele Stadium today. At the end of the day, Niroshan Dickwella and Ramesh Mendis were all out on crease with 64 and 22 runs respectively. Earlier, Sri Lanka started their second day's batting with the overnight score of 291 for 1. Taskin Ahmed bagged 3 wickets, while Mehdi Hassan Miraj and Taijul Islam took 1 wicket each for Bangladesh. Shariful Islam bagged 1 wicket for Bangladesh yesterday. The first test between host Sri Lanka and Bangladesh ended in a draw. And before we end tonight's bulletin, another look at the headlines. The country's export earnings continue even during corona situation. In first 9 months of current fiscal year, export earnings stood at 2,893 crore US dollars. Various government initiatives now underway to increase the collection of corona vaccine. Vaccine collection will be solved once production starts. Food and cash distribution continues among unemployed people affected by corona situation through public-private initiatives. Leaders of BFUJ and DUJ expressed their gratitude to Prime Minister for donating 10 crore taka to Journalist Welfare Trust. Record 3,87,000 new corona infections identified in India in 24 hours. Death toll from coronavirus surpasses 4 lakh in Brazil. And in Pallekele, Sri Lanka scored 469 for 8 in the first innings against Bangladesh at end of the second day of the last of the 2-match test series. That's all from the newsroom for now. Our next news is at 11:30. Do join us again. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.